Hello, I'm Danielle. Hello and welcome. If you are new, welcome in. And if you are returning, thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. I do appreciate it. That song in the beginning got me singing so bad. I know there is a version, I just couldn't find it for some reason. There's a version where they actually sing. It has words, but this one doesn't, but I got myself singing the words to it while I was playing it. And now it's probably going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. I hope you guys are doing well. It is Friday. I hope you had a good week and your weekend is going to be fantabulous. Sorry if I sound a bit groggy, and I probably do, and I probably look a bit groggy too, but I have 2 sick kids and I myself is sick. It's what they call like an occasional seasonal flu, but my nose just, it's really stuffy and nothing seems to work. And I cannot, for the life of me, cannot handle a stuffy nose or blocked nose. I feel like I suffocate in my own air and I just cannot get enough air circulating through me. So yes, I look a bit stuffy and I just look ugh. But you know what? I do feel a bit ugh. Do I wish to be healthy all year round? Yes, of course I do. But no, the occasional flu, sick kids, it's just a recipe for disaster. But needless to say, if you haven't guessed by the intro, we are doing another Cartoon Network build in The Sims 4. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, I suggest you do. It's not a catch up. You don't have to watch the others to kind of know what's going on. But this series, or this whole thing that I'm doing right now, is based off of Cartoon Network's most classical, vintage, probably the best animated series to the 90s decade. So we've done 2 so far. We've done Courage the Cowardly Dog and the Powerpuff Girls. And this week we are doing Dexter's Laboratory. And you know, it is extremely difficult to find good streams, good photos, just basically anything on cartoon animated series that has been released such a long time ago. Like I previously said, I have a rough list that I'm working off. This was not the video that I was planning for today, but for the life of me, the previous one that I tried to kind of find some information off, it was so hard to get any pictures or references for them. Even the streams struggle to actually play. It's like there isn't any streams available for cartoons so old. I think most of the problems when those years when they did animation series, they would kind of skip scenes and you would just jump from one scene to another, and it will basically, the background will be a blur. So you will kind of see sketches on the wall that will replicate like a sofa or something, or when the character actually sits on the sofa, that's only when the sofa becomes kind of illuminated and you could see what color and what form it is. Speed bumps pushed to one side. I have to say a very thank you to all of you that have commented on my last 2 videos suggesting any cartoons from those years and movies, of course. I have started watching the first suggestion, found a good stream to watch it just to kind of enlighten and freshen up my brain, because like I said before, I don't like building stuff that I don't actually know. So I have started wrapping my brain around all of them. And if all goes to plan, it will be released on my channel as soon as I'm done with the 90s Cartoon Network series, which might be soon. Not because I don't want to continue. Just like I said, it's just really difficult to find reference pictures of the series in those years. And I'm just going to get up with it. I don't have the time to sit and watch episodes of cartoons back to back with kids in the house. So I kind of pick here and there and try and lighten up my brain and refresh it to build it in The Sims. Because I do remember watching it as a kid, but like I always say, I haven't watched it in years. And in those years, you don't watch it to say, that's who made it, that's when it was made, that's how many episodes, blah, 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 the whole history. No, you just kind of watch it because you were a kid and you loved it. So what I mean by refreshing my brain is kind of just picking out random episodes from streams that I try to find and just kind of waking up the senses. So be sure to stick around because those suggestions are going to come soon. So like we always start on this series, I'm going to give you guys just a brief short history of the series in general. For this series, Dexter's Laboratory follows a boy genius. He's short, very serious, and he's a scientist. Now he has a secret laboratory down in his bedroom, and his parents are oblivious of him having it. He has an older sister called Dee Dee, as you guys can see on the screen right now. Now they bump heads continuously every day, all day. Somehow Dee Dee finds a way to get into Dexter's laboratory without him noticing and kind of just ruins all his experiments. There's gloom and doom when things go boom. I'm not going to sing the chorus because that is a bit too high notes for me. In Dexter's lab. That is the lyrics that I was singing along in the intro. Don't judge my singing. This is a Sims channel, gaming channel, not a singing channel. Dee Dee is this wonderful, bubbly, rainbowish girl. And even if she blows up the experiments, she doesn't feel a thing. Now, just like most animation series and movies, there's always one villain, or rival in this case. And Dexter is no exception to that. He has a rival called Mandark. It's a schoolmate. But to make matters worse, it's also his next door neighbor. Now, Mandark is also a scientist, and he always tries to outdo and do stuff better than what Dexter does. And these two has been bumping heads since the start, as you can see on the screen right now. Created by Genndy Tartakovsky, 4 pilots aired on Cartoon Network from 1995 to 1996. With viewer ratings approved, it led to a 30-minute series which consisted of 2 seasons, 52 episodes from 1996 to June 1998. In December of 1999, a film was aired, Dexter's Laboratory Ego Trip. And this film was produced to kind of finalize the series because Genndy left to go work on Samurai Jack. But it was not over yet, because in November 2000, the series was renewed for another 2 seasons and 26 episodes in total, and it aired from November 2001 to November 2003. It had a lot of changes. Given that Genndy left, the production team was new animation, new characters. They kind of just adjusted the series. So you get a different houses, but the one I built was for the first 2 seasons, I think. Dexter won 3 Annie Awards, was nominated for 4 Primetime Emmy Awards, Golden Reel Awards, and 9 other Annie Awards. It is pretty good. I mean, if I think back to my childhood, this was a great series to watch. I mean, there was children books, comic books, video games, and of course toys, VHS tapes, and music. It all came along with this series. All in all, it lasted about 4 seasons of pure scientificatical. I don't even know if that's a word. That's really not a word, but it was fun. But just kind of keeping the build in mind, I did have a bit of a struggle, not with the actual build, but the proportions. Once again, people, the proportions. Like what you get in a series or animation series and what you try and kind of recreate in The Sims, sometimes totally different. Like in totally different. So as you guys can see on the picture, the front windows are exactly the same size as the door. But in The Sims, my windows are extremely big. I use ToolMod. I downloaded it. Yes, I did. And I'm trying to educate, learn, teach, and just learn to use it. Why do I always have to complicate things? But yes, that was the struggle. So in the series, the house is actually a 2-story house. But I mean, if you take a look at the picture, you can never say that's a 2-story house. Because basically, what? They will be living in the roof. And of course, you can see that in The Sims. I had to make it a 2-story house. And I didn't have the correct windows to use in front. So I had to use ToolMod to kind of just size it up a bit. So yes, it does look a bit out of proportion, but I wanted it to look exactly like the way it looked in the series. And I think besides the door that looks like super miniature, I think it turned out really good. For the interior, I tried to, like I said, grab snippets from series episodes and reference pictures of the internet, of course, and try to replicate the interior as best as possible. There is an extra room in the back, which I just kind of decorated using some stuff because I had no idea. I didn't have a floor plan. Most of these houses don't come with floor plans, so you just kind of have to guess. And that's exactly what I did. I just guessed the floor plan like I do with every build and just plop down furniture as I see fit according to the picture. So yes, it might be a bit bland, it might not be exactly the same, but what is perfect? And besides that, this house turned out pretty good. In the intro, of course, as well, Dee Dee falls through a rug. You can't make a tunnel in Sims, but what I did was put a rug down and put a staircase. Originally, as they changed it up, entrance for Dexter's lab actually was behind a bookcase. So that's also what I did. I placed ladders going from Dexter's room down to the basement, and it worked out pretty good. If your Sims can use it, I've not test played it yet, but hopefully they'll be able to use it. But I appreciate everyone watching. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think of this build. If you watched Dexter, what is your memory of Dexter as a kid or adult? If you watched it as an adult, I still watch cartoons and I'm an adult. But thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, like I always say, think about it, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to all my new subscribers, by the way. I'm happy to have you all aboard. But have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you guys next week Friday for my next episode. Have a good one, guys. Bye.